Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Chronicle podcast. Today with me is Neon Graystone, and as always, I am your host, Marcus Chronicle. Neon, how are you doing today?
Been a pretty good week, actually.
Really, that's good to hear. Everything's been starting to open back up, which I think is not smart to do.
No, it'll be a relief to some people, I'm sure. Like, it'll probably be better for you who, goes out and needs to do things, but anybody with a, compromised immune system or really older family member got to be scared right now.
I haven't had any issue over the course of the last few weeks while everything's been closed down. But I do understand that a lot of people need it to open back up. But it, I think it's still a little too early. A lot of people think it's a little too early.
Yeah, it makes sense that a lot of the workers are upset, if you've lost your job because of this. And honestly, I think the way it's set up is the working people, like who normally work, are having the hardest time getting those stimulus checks they're sending out. So I understand why people are frustrated and want their jobs to open back up, but you've got to think about it from, everybody else's perspective, and it's not worth the risk. Like, how much inconvenience is worth a life to you?
Well, that's kind of where their line is kind it. That's where the gray line is, because either you're in a situation where you are completely broke, you have no food, no nothing, and you're starving to death. And so
Hmm.
if we don't open back up, you are going to die. But if we do open back up, you still might die from the virus. And I mean, my perspective is I am glad everything is starting to open back up. I do think it's a little too early,
It's
but
definitely too early.
I'm not in a situation where I'm really worried either way. I'll be fine regardless. But I do understand that if I was in the situation where I needed things to open back up, I would rather take my chances with the virus than without from. I would rather risk dying by coronavirus than dying by starving to death, because you might come back from coronavirus. I don't really see people coming back from starving to death.
Yeah, I don't know of many people that are actually starving from this. Not in the U.S. I'm sure there are,
Uh,
but the
yeah,
majority are just it's hard times right now. It's hard times all around, and that's just it though. When you decide that you want to open back up and go to work, you're not making that choice for you that you're risking your life. I mean, technically you are, but you would be fine. It's the coronavirus isn't going to do a lot of damage to you personally,
yeah,
but you're making that choice for someone else. Because if that opens up, and I mean, God knows who you come into contact that day, you could spread it without knowing it, or because that building's open, more people could catch it, and you've just made that choice for someone else that they're taking that home to their grandfather, or grandmother, or something.
yeah. It's that gray line that's gonna be the big problem.
Yeah. How inconvenienced are you willing to be for someone else to live? Like, where is that line for you? Is it worth not having as many fast food choices if somebody's grandfather or sick, like, you know, family member gets to live?
I get me personally. I haven't had fast food very often. I've been to McDonald's twice and Taco Bell once, and that's and Wendy's. I went to Wendy's this last week, and those are
I
the
went to Wendy's this week. The Biggie Bag, it's good.
yeah. I've been to fast. I've had fast food 4 times. Everything else I've had at home, and that's just kind
Hmm.
of how I've been living the last few weeks.
I
Which
think the American kitchen has been rediscovered during the corona.
yeah. Did you see that? Over the course of the last week, I don't know when specifically, North Korea released the images of their leader.
Yeah, I
So
saw that on the 27 News. He's alive, apparently, at least as far as they're saying.
maybe it's still a little unknown as to whether that was like stuff they already had and they're releasing, or if that is like confirmation that he's alive. It's still kind of up in the air.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for them to lie because you don't want to admit weakness during a time of already weakness.
Yeah.
So it would make perfect sense for them to be lying, but also it could make perfect sense for them to just release images. I don't know how many times they've released videos of him speaking to us. So
Yeah,
I can't say, and I'm not super concerned with that right now.
neither am I. I honestly couldn't care either way.
I could see if you're in like Japan, China, or somewhere closer if it was a bigger issue, but they're not a super big threat over here.
Okay, so there's one more thing I want to talk to you about before we get off this virus news, because I don't want that to be the whole podcast. Did you see the protests in, like, I think it was Michigan?
Oh, like how they're yelling and yelling at their governors and stuff to open back up.
No. It was either yesterday or the day before. I don't remember which. But when things started opening back up, people dressed in body armor grabbed AR-15s and stormed their. It might have been their governor's office or whatever. They stormed a federal building in riot gear with fully automatic weapons, claiming it's a peaceful protest. It's insane that that's what people think is peaceful. And it's not that they're hiding behind, like, it's a peaceful protest. They're hiding behind the Second Amendment. We have the right to bear arms, which is why we're going to be walking around a federal building, waving guns around, screaming about how the government shouldn't open up.
Arms is shady-ish here because it does say that you have the right to carry, protection, to protect yourself. But I'm pretty sure that doesn't, like, in written contract today, I'm pretty sure it doesn't include semi-automatic or fully automatic weapons.
I don't care what it includes. What I care about is
the fact that they're claiming it's a peace protest while armed.
Yeah, you have the right to assemble peacefully. You do, and if you want to protest it, go ahead. But the second you're walking around in body armor with fully automatic weapons, that's not assembling peacefully. You're walking around anywhere. I don't care if it's a federal building or if it's a Walmart. I don't care where it is. But the second you pull out a gun and you're screaming about how the government doesn't need to open back up, you are not being peaceful. You are putting
doesn't need to open up.
Yeah, I think it's that they were angry that we were opening back up. And regardless, either way, that if you have 40 people dressed like that with guns, you are putting more than 40 people's lives in danger. Because the second you get one idiot that has a misfire, everyone is firing their guns.
No, and that mob mentality, man. Humans are decently intelligent until you get them in a big group.
Yeah.
The collective IQ drops significantly when you have a large group of people.
I don't know how many people were there. It could be 5 people or 200 people. I don't know. I'm going to go with 40 for this example. But you
Arm the children.
Yes, you have 40 people in riot gear with fully automatic AR-15s.
Marching up and down the street and apparently sitting in a government building.
Yes. You have all those people. Every single one of them is in danger because they are all in a small area with very dangerous weapons. And that, like, emotional state is heightened. And
we've also been advised to not get in big groups anyway because of the virus.
I'm going to ignore all that. The virus doesn't exist in this example. This is literally any protest. Just in general, do not have any protest where you have any amount of people walking around waving guns around. Don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, they tend to not end well.
But you have 40 people in this group with guns and body armor. You're putting every single one of them in danger. You're putting the lives of any cop that's on staff right there in danger because they have to show up to make sure you don't kill someone. You're also putting state police in danger and every single person that walks by that area. Everyone is in danger because you are angry enough that you're waving your gun around in public. Don't do that. Like, you go there. If you want to be angry about something to the point where you're going to get into a group with a bunch of people and protest, do it. But do not... It's also one thing if you have, like, a handgun to protect yourself. If you feel like you need that, that is another thing. But the second there's a bunch of people who are angry enough to be carrying guns around a federal building, that's where you want to check out. Like,
yep.
And that's all I'm going to say on that. It's insane. I'm pretty sure that was in Michigan, but that...
I believe it.
I just cannot believe that happened.
Well, It is. It's mob mentality, and it's I don't know. That Second Amendment thing gets on my nerves because it makes sense that people should have the right to protect themselves. It makes sense to me,
Yeah,
but also you're well, if you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. If you have a gun, I'm assuming every problem looks like a target.
yeah,
And there's some people out there that I don't believe should be armed. They're a
yeah.
danger to themselves and the general public.
Personally, I think that if you're going to have a gun, you should have, what is it? You should be tested to see if you're
A
stable
psych
enough.
evaluation.
Yeah, a psych evaluation. You and everyone in your family should probably have one of those just to make sure, and not like one and done. One like every 2 years, maybe, or every
Well, yeah.
2.5,
I
3
think
years.
that
I
we
don't
should
care.
have tests for driver's license every so often too.
And on top of that, regardless, like I think that gun safety should be taught in schools. And if you want a
In a
gun,
country where you have the right to openly bear arms, you should have every citizen should have the knowledge to use it effectively.
yes, and if you want a gun, everyone in your family should take that early. Like,
Hmm.
like if you have a gun and you have a 5-year-old, the 5-year-old should know how to handle a weapon properly and
5-year-olds
safely.
should know how to not get themselves shot. I can understand this logic.
But if
There
you,
was something on the news a little while back about little toddlers playing when got in a gun cabinet and shot one of them.
well, that's just terrible. But
Mhm.
if you don't have a gun and you don't want a gun, I can understand not having that, but you should still know it. It should still be taught in schools. I'd say 8th grade at the earliest is probably when schools should do that, or 9th grade at the latest. 8th or 9th grade, it should be when you are taught gun safety.
I could see that. Maybe the last year of middle school or first year of high school.
Yeah, like, that's the best time to do it, in my opinion. Like, there's still going to be other problems with that, but that's when I think it should be taught.
Definitely.
So let's try and change gears here a little bit. You've been watching anything recently? I know you got that Netflix account.
Yep. I set mine because I have that Express VPN
Yeah.
I use because I torrent occasionally. And I've been setting my Netflix to Japan, and there is everything in the world on Japan.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of a show that I couldn't find on there. It's got the Digimon anime. It's got all the Digimon movies that we went to the theaters to see. It's got Magus Bride. It's got every anime I love is on Netflix Japan, and there's a lot more American movies and shows on there than there are in the U.S. Netflix.
Is the anime have does it have both the Japanese and
Yeah,
English stuff?
it has both.
Awesome. When I get ExpressVPN, I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, man, I highly recommend Netflix Japan. It's beautiful. Even I set mine to the Netherlands too, and there's they've got like Full House and all those Nick at Night shows that used to come on. Got SpongeBob, both movies, the show. Like it's pretty good. They've got the Iron Giant on Netflix Japan.
I think I have
All
that
the Ghibli movies. I love the Iron Giant, man. Like I watch that movie once every 2 or 3 years, and beautiful every time.
Yeah, I got the DVD. I'm looking at it right now. I bought the DVD
Well, you're
for
a
Iron
hoarder.
Giant. I like DVDs, but I bought the DVD for Iron Giant because I hadn't seen it in so long, and I wanted to watch it. I have yet to watch it. I've had the DVD for 2 years.
It's an amazing movie, man. I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. Also, physical media is dying or dead.
I'll tell you what I've been watching. I started watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1,
Oh god,
and
I love that.
Every episode, anytime they get into a duel, I go, that's not how. Kaiba, you have to tribute for Blue Eyes. You have to tribute. I've never been defeated.
No, those are rules even then.
It's like he's in there. I've never been defeated. Oh, no one's ever pulled 2 trap holes on you and a magic cylinder. Really? No one's ever done that to you?
Well, they barely use spell and trap cards in the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's insane. Like the amount of stuff like Yugi. I have my Dark Magician under Magic Hats and a trap card that you'll activate if you...
Magic Hats doesn't work the same way in the game as it does in the show, and that always bugged me.
Yeah.
None of the Dark Magician's spell cards are nearly as good as they are in the anime.
I wish you could hide the spell and trap cards under the Magic Hats. That would be a great advantage.
Mm-hmm.
To just just have any of that down there, that would be amazing. On top of that,
they also play regular spells from their hands all the time, which you're not allowed to do. Like
Yeah.
Monster Reborn, Yugi pulls that like all the time out of his hand and plays it. And I'm like, you had to lay that on the field, man.
I believe you don't have to do that. You can just play from your hand. You might not. That might be different.
No.
I don't know.
He pulls them during other people's turns. And to do that, it has to be a quick spell.
Yeah, and Monster Reborn is not a quick spell.
No.
But like, it's just everything. Everyone's like, I'm the best. I'm the number one. And I'm like, you would be taken down by a marshmallow. Like 3 marshmallows.
Honestly, all these people going around like I'm number one, undefeated. I'm like, well, you clearly haven't dueled more than 3 people.
And then you have Maya, who challenges Joey. He's the weakest, gets beaten. Like, because he understands the rules of the game a little bit better. He at least understood that he could use a Time Wizard and Baby Dragon to get Thousand Dragon. I mean, to be fair, the way it affected her doesn't help, but...
Yeah, no, Time Wizard, they made him look like the most OP card in the anime.
And he is useful in one example.
Joey uses him a couple times, and I want to see him useful other times too. One thing, I think they have Time Wizard destroy the opponent's field at one point, like age them to death, and he can't do that. He can destroy your field, not your opponent's.
Yeah, it's he uses Time Wizard to age the Harpy ladies to dust, essentially.
Which you can't do.
Yeah, because it's just insane to think that you can do that.
Well, he also destroys a water-type opponent, remember, by blowing up the moon, and then there's no tide and current, so all his water monsters were weaker.
Yeah, that was Yugi. That was, I think, the episode right after Joey's battle.
It was a fun show, though. They got creative.
And like it's a fun show, but watching it, understanding the rules, you pull your hair out. It's insane what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I started dueling at like 9, right? So like me and my buddies tried to do the stuff they did in the show when we first started dueling. We were dueling very wrong.
Yeah. I don't remember when I first started dueling. I know it was when my brother had an air hockey table in his room.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, we had an air hockey table. I think he got it when I was 4 or 5, so it would have been like the year or the year after we moved into where we lived our entire lives. But it was awesome having it. We never used it. How much
older is your brother than you?
About 4 years.
Okay, so he would have been like 13 when you started dueling then, or like 10 or 11.
He would have been 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because it would have been after he got the air hockey table, which I think he got for his birthday.
You started dueling pretty young then.
Yeah, because my brother had a bunch of cards.
And he wanted to duel with someone, and you were someone.
I was the only person. On top of that, I didn't understand the rules, so every turn he had to say, no, you can't summon a 5-star monster without tributing. No, you can't play a spell card on my turn because I didn't understand the rules. He just, I would do things and he would tell me what I'm doing is wrong when it was wrong. And even then, there's a good chance he just said that I was wrong when I was right. Because he wanted to win.
50-50. Yeah, 50-50 on that one.
Yeah, I have no proof that he did that, but I can assume that he did that at least once. Because children suck sometimes.
Children do suck. Like, I love kids, man, but they can be annoying at times.
Yeah.
But I mean, so can adults, for that matter.
I actually was over at my sister's yesterday because they lifted the lockdown a little bit. So I went to go see my family.
Mm-hmm.
And we played Smash Brothers for a little while.
Sweet.
Yeah. I have not played that game in probably 6 months, and I was still doing fairly okay.
Yeah.
There were some intense matches that came down to literally who is hitting B faster.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to.
Yeah, well,
that's when it gets fun.
I don't remember who my brother-in-law was playing, but I was playing Cloud, and both of us had our Smash, and both of us were over 100% on our last lives. And we were just looking at each other, smashing B, and he managed to get the kill on me. It wasn't until... And his son was also playing. He was also, like, right next to us. And his smash wasn't a, like, you were hit. It's like a 30-second cutscene that you appear the last 2 seconds in, and that's when you know that you died.
Mm-hmm.
So that entire time, you get to sit there and go, am I dead? Was it the other guy that got hit? Who's gonna die here?
Mm-hmm.
That was... There were some insane ones.
I haven't played it too much lately. I've been wanting to. I've barely gotten to play the new Smash Brothers. Like, I think you've been there at least a third of the time I've played the game.
Yeah.
Because I ain't got nobody to play it with. And it's not a game I enjoy playing by myself.
Yeah, I can understand that. I would not enjoy playing that by myself. I did for the
Digimon All-Star you had. It's like that was a game I wouldn't have been able to play that game by myself.
Well, it had a story mode.
But like the combat mode, like you're not just gonna sit there fighting PCs, are you?
Only if I wanted the trophies, which I did do. And even then, I didn't have to win. I just had to be in the match. So I just farmed it, and I would start a match and walk away.
Yeah.
But I did. For the first time yesterday, I did play Zelda.
Oh, nice.
No, in Smash Brothers.
Now, which Smash Bros. Was it?
The newest one, the Switch.
Okay, because Zelda plays differently in the new one.
Yeah, because you can spam her easily in the new one and win. I did not do that, and I almost won. I don't know how to play this. Let's just okay, I can do this. Okay, and we're all on our last lives, and I could win this if I died.
She's better on bigger maps because a lot of her moves are ranged attack or counters.
Yeah, and I'm not really a countering person, so that would not have worked for me very well.
What how good was the little kid?
He's fairly okay. He and his dad play a lot, but he is a very competitive person. So you take a dive every once in a while if you're going to win. Just
Yep.
I so many times I'll play a lot of stuff with him, and I will actively lose. People do. My brother-in-law and my sister have told me before when I smash him when he thinks he can win, and I'll just go, I'm gonna teach you a lesson here about confidence here, and then I'll just crush him. They appreciate it when I do that because he doesn't handle losing very well. A lot of kids don't.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So every once in a while, I'll just go, I'm gonna win.
Yep.
I did that with.
Well, you don't learn anything from victory.
Yeah, well, you can, but not very often. Like
you don't want to break the kid's heart, but you also don't want him to have a big head.
I think the second or third time he played Unstable Unicorns with me and my sister, he was one card away from winning, and I just went, and he was getting super psyched, like I can win, I'm gonna win, no one can stop me, blah 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 blah. He showed me his hand, and it was 4 Nay cards.
I mean, that's pretty good.
I had 4 Nay cards in my hand, and he only had 4 because I had 5, and he stole one from me. And I let him steal it. because I had so much in my hand that it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, okay, well, I could let him win. I could stop him from keeping my sister from winning, or I can win right now.
Uh-huh.
I went, well, I'm gonna win. 'Cause he didn't think I could stop him, and I went, try me, stop me, or I win. Nay, no, nay, no, nay, no, nay, no, I win. You know, it's a lesson. Don't be too confident because there's always going to be someone better.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, and like, I think the next time I played with him after that, I won fairly easily. And we played again, and we got to a point where I could have won no problem because I had a couple nays in my hand. I think I had super nay. And we were playing 7, I had 5, and ginormous unicorn. I could have played that, but I actively went, now I'm not going to do that, I'll let him win this one. And probably 6, 7 turns later, he won. Because I'm willing to crush someone, but I'm also willing to let them win every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And they say you're not good with kids.
Yeah. No, I'm not good with stupid. That's the problem there.
Yeah, not antisocial, anti-stupid. I think you've got that on a shirt.
I do have that on a shirt somewhere. I don't know where the shirt is.
Let's see. How's your family been doing with this whole thing? Like your mom and dad, are they still working? Are they laid off? Or
yeah, they're still doing what they were doing. Like they probably aren't getting as many hours, but we aren't really in a bad situation.
It depends on what kind of labor you are. Like certain people where places stayed open and others weren't allowed to.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they cut my hours at work for a little bit, but it's one day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hurting. It's not gonna kill me. I'm not worried about it. However, it did. Like, the day they gave me off is Thursday, and it's for the entire month of May. My birthday this month falls on a Thursday.
Well, that's awesome.
So through nothing on me, I didn't try to get the day off. I didn't realize it till like the day after they gave me the day off. I don't have to work on my birthday this year.
It's awesome, man.
Which, the first 2 years I worked, I actively went out of my way to not work on my birthday. I did not want to do it because I hated my place of work that much. And when I swapped jobs, I enjoyed my job, and I got a decent paycheck. So I went, I'm going to work on my birthday. I like the money. And now I don't have to work on it again.
Nice, man. Yeah. My first year at the college, right? My birthday fell on a Saturday in the middle of the summer, right? So I thought, there's no way I'm going to end up working, on my birthday. Then I decided to work over the summer, right? But it's still just a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 job, right?
They called you on Saturday or Sunday, whatever.
Well, see, no, the thing is, the month before my birthday, it was May, right? They sent me to work with same job, but under a different manager, right? Like a different area I was supposed to work with. It was the Boone Tavern area.
Yeah.
And she worked Saturdays regular and every other Sunday. And I thought, well, it'll still be all right because it's every other Saturday. It's not often. It lined up just perfect that I worked like 8 hours on my birthday on a Saturday.
That's not too bad unless you're someone who actively loves doing nothing on their birthday and you're not the person who's like, I'm not going to do anything today. You would lose your mind if you went, I'm going to sit in my room and not do anything all day. I'm going to sit here.
This coronavirus is killing me, man.
Yeah. You're the person, if I bet you $1 million you cannot sit in a chair and watch TV and do nothing else all day, I would walk away $1 million richer.
It's been killing me, and it's been getting on my parents' nerves a bit because I'm home and I'm sitting there like all day, like let's do something, let's go do something. I'm bored, let's go do something, anything. Like yesterday was the best day I've had since this thing started because yesterday we did yard work, and I went to sleep last night feeling better than I have, and I told them this in like a month.
Yeah.
Because like I did something other than like play on the computer or something. It's been so hard, man.
And I've been spending the last 2 or 3 weeks, the last week before we started the podcast, I've been watching a lot of Digimon and playing Final Fantasy. That's all I've been doing. If I'm not at work watching whatever, I am watching Digimon, writing a script, or I'm playing Final Fantasy and watching something on my phone.
At least you have work to go to. Like my college stuff ended almost 2 weeks ago. This Wednesday it'll be 2 weeks. So it's been 11 days since I've had anything to do.
I tell you what you do. You start working on video scripts. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to write out what I need for the video, what I'm going to talk about in the video, how I'm going to talk about it. You work all that stuff out so that when you can sit down and film it, because it'll probably be in the when we get an apartment with Gold Taylor. Like that's when we're probably going to get everything set up and you'll be able to start recording that stuff. But if you have like 5 or 6 videos ready to record and all you have to do is grab the stuff, it's work that you're going to be doing later, but you can also get started now. You can get ahead even if you can't film anything.
Yeah, I got you. It makes sense.
Yeah. Like, back when I was doing reviews weekly, I knew there would be at least a week where I would go on, like, vacation and not be able to work on anything. And my plan was always get 2 or 3 weeks ahead so that when that does come around, I can just set everything up and then just walk away for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm not doing things weekly anymore. I put more time into my videos and work on them a little bit longer, which has been... I really enjoy doing things the way I am, because I'm not sitting down at my computer the day after I upload something and go, okay, what am I going to review? What show? What episode? Watch the episode. Write the script. Record. Edit audio. Edit video. Upload. Sit down next day. What am I going to review?
I understand. I get getting ahead and a little bit more organized. Yeah. It never hurt nobody.
I did that for a year, and it was fun while I was doing it. But, like you could tell, I started in October of 2018. I got the video out October 31st because I did the SpongeBob Halloween 3D episode. And I put out a video every single week except for the week before Christmas. I didn't put one out because on Christmas and Christmas Eve, I put out a video back-to-back.
Sweet.
And I did that intentionally. And every single week up until we moved, and I couldn't do any videos for a couple weeks, and then I did like 2 videos a week until I got caught back up. And I did that up until October, so almost a year. It was the beginning of October when my program decided it wanted to die and not work anymore. And then I was out of luck because by the time I could do anything, my car died. And I was away from my computer for a week. So I'd go a week without being able to work on anything. Another week where I'm not around my computer at all. And then I get back and it's like another week before the video's done. And I was like, I'm not getting caught back up. I'm not going to put out 6 videos over the course of the next 2 weeks. I'm not doing that.
No, I can understand that, man.
And it was the end of November. I went, this is not sustainable. I got 2 videos I absolutely want to talk about, and then that's it for the year. I'll do 2 more videos for December, both Christmas videos, and I'm gonna come back in January. And
you gotta do you, man.
Yeah, and since January started, I'm doing more stuff that I kind of want to talk about because I just didn't have the time.
I'm gonna let you go, man.
Okay. Well, It's about time. It's 35 minutes. The closest we've ever been to that 30-minute timeline. But
We get it one time.
I'd rather 35 minutes than an hour. About 30 minutes is about 35 minutes is fine. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys hopefully next week. We'll be filming another podcast Tuesday, I think. So probably the day this comes out. With hopefully Gultair, who is for... I had a joke for it, but it's...
the artist formerly known.
You're not wrong. It's the Gultair formerly known as Timmy. That's...
Oh, God.
That was a joke. I was going to introduce him like that this week, but he couldn't make it today. And we got another friend coming in on Tuesday to join with us. So there'll be 4 of us Tuesday. And that'll be coming out probably a week from the day you're capable of seeing this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.